Alright, we're doing an oil change on a 2.5 liter Nissan engine. This is a 2012 Nissan Altima. So what I do is I pop the hood and I pull the dipstick. You could check your level, but I know it's going to be a little bit low possibly because the oil's been due for a little bit. We might be a few hundred over, and we got a little bit of a valve cover leak here, which I'll be covering in another video in the future. And I take off the oil cap and I just leave that kind of right there. We're also going to be doing the engine air filter too, so I'm going to get under the car and show you what you got to do down there. We're down under the front of the car here. I have it safely on some ramps. I would suggest that if you are new to doing this, or just in general for anybody, that you should probably chalk the back wheels just in case. I should probably be doing the same, but I just have it on the ramps, cars and parked. It's automatic, so I'm not worried about it going anywhere. But anyways, when you're looking at the bottom of the car from the front like I am, you got the exhaust pipe coming down. This is the 2.5 liter, so you got the exhaust coming right here. The engine's going to be on the left, not the right. You got two different pans down here with plugs. The way that you think of it is the Nissan Altima is a technically foreign car, so normally they would be driving on the right hand drive side, and the engine would be on the driver's side technically. So our transmission's over here on the driver's side in the US, or you can just look to see where the oil filter is, which happens to be up there connected to the engine. Now on some cars there might be a transmission filter that looks identical to that, so I would make sure you know which one's which before you go and drain the wrong thing. I've seen it happen, and I've done it almost a couple times with different cars. So we got the plug down here. I have an assortment of wrenches because I'm too lazy to get up in case I have the wrong size. I'm guessing it's going to be about 14. Now my assistant isn't with me today, so I'm just doing this on my own, so sorry if it's a little shaky. So I'm going to see here. 14 feels good, and I got that. Now we just got done driving a bit and it's hot out, so this is going to be really hot oil. So if you aren't good with hot temperatures, and or you are you should probably just wait till it cools down. Hot, hot, hot. I got me a little cloth down here too to wipe up my hands and the plug a little bit. I'm replacing the plug actually, so in case you're not, what I like to do is I just like to wipe off the bit of oil that's on the plug. So this oil is pretty bad. It's a few thousand miles, and we put liquid Moly oil additive in, which I think is pretty good. A lot of people have German cars use that. It's like a German thing, so I think it's good. They are pretty good with engineering. They are pretty much the world leaders with cars and machines, so I would trust it's good stuff. So I'm gonna let that drain out, and we got the filter up underneath there. I'm just gonna let all this oil drain out first, then I'm gonna get up on the filter. And this is where you want a cloth or something. If you have a can of like brake clean or something to clean up the oil spill, you could do that too, but I would be careful since everything's hot. You don't want to cause a fire. I'm just gonna wipe it with a rag, because when you change the filter up here, there's a tendency for the oil to come down over the frame. So in the meantime, I think I'll do the engine air filter, let that drain out really good, because it is hot and the car's been running, so I'll just let every little bit drip out. So I'm back here at the top. Now the air filter on this car is pretty straightforward and easy. You'd think I got everything prepared when I have the camera off, but I'm opening the new one right now. You can use whatever filter you like. I have a STP filter. It's a premium filter from one of my parts stores. I would say get a more premium one. It's just going to be, you know, more filter material. If you get a cheaper one, it's going to be less. And whether it makes a big deal or not, I just like to think I'm doing a good job by getting something a little bit better. So you got those two clips on the top. Sometimes they are broken. And you got this part of the intake up here, which you can kind of pull up on and get the box out. So I kind of pull up. A little difficult to do it when you got a camera or a phone in your hand. Otherwise it'd take like 2 seconds to do. New and old. Old one isn't horrible, but we're kind of more in the country, so I would say there's more chance of like bugs and critters getting in. The box is a little dirty. If you have the spare time, you can clean yours out. I'm sure if yours is the same way. I'm not worried about it. The filter is going to be in there, so I don't see that being a problem. But otherwise, if I had I don't know what I'm saying. If I had extra time, I would probably do it. Right now, I'm not really in the mood for doing that. You know, it's functional. It might be a little dirty, but it's fine. It's not going to harm anything. So the bottom of this box kind of clips in. I know I'm not showing much, but I'm trying to push on the box at the same time, so it's hard to see. You'll know when you push it, it kind of drops into a spot. Let me put that down for a second. So it kind of goes into a spot and then the gap lessens, and then you can kind of just pop those forward, and then you just want to take a look around and make sure the box is completely sealed up, which mine is, so that's good. All right, back under the car, I got a brand new plug. So in case you were wondering, let me see how I do this. I got this one from AutoZone, not a sponsor. If you wanted to get a new one, this is the thread. It's M12 by 1.25, part number 653056, and that's going to be going in. So I've actually replaced this drain plug before with the same exact one. So your original drain plug might be a size smaller or a size bigger, depending. I'm sorry about the camera angles here, but I'm doing it the best I can right now. Alright, so I snugged that up by hand. I know there's a torque spec, but it's probably like 30 inch-pounds or something like that, give or take. Don't quote me. I'm just going to do that by hand, and I'm going to end up checking it when the car is running to make sure that it's not leaking. But now the filter, so you got a plastic guard on the side, the wheel well cover. Yours might be floppy like mine is, and I can move it out of place and get my hand up there. And I put this filter on, so I know it's not that tight. I'm just trying to slide my way so I can get a better grip. It's a little hot. All right, I'm gonna grab a tool. So I got the wide angle camera on because I'm gonna try to put the phone down so I can use two hands. I got this like claw tool here. This one does not have like a spring on it. I've used some where there's like a very nice spring where it's like constantly holding tension on this to be at the smallest size possible, so that way you kind of just pop it over the filter and it stays in place. But this one, you got to kind of hold it closed with your hand while you're trying to loosen it until it bites into it. So that's what I need to do. So I'm going to try to put the phone up somehow. Alright, we're using the new filter. So I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see much, but all I'm doing, oh, lefty loosey, righty tighty. I had it the wrong way. So I'm holding it in place. It might take a minute for it to actually catch and turn the filter. I don't really like that kind of tool. I like the straps, the steel strap ones. Those tend to be a bit better. And you want to have your oil pan here in the middle because it's going to leak down both sides. So I got this out. Alright, we got that one out. Now right behind my phone is a new filter. And I'm going to carefully unbox it. And then what I'm going to do is take the old filter that's 2000 degrees and put that in there. The new filter comes with a piece of plastic. You're going to want to take that off or else you're not going to have any oil pressure. And then you could write the date on here with a Sharpie or something. I'm not going to do that. I go inside the car and change the oil change settings, which I can probably show on video because it's not very hard to do. We're using 5W30 oil. That's what this car calls for. And it's going to be I use full synthetic. Platinum high mileage full synthetic from Pennzoil. It's like 45 bucks or something like that, but I figure I'd rather use the good stuff than put cheap oil in it. This is like the main car, so I don't want to cheap out. The only other oil I would recommend is actually Super Tech from Walmart. Project Farm did some videos and other people have done research that that's actually a pretty good oil. Some people use Amazon Basics oil. I think that also is fairly good oil. So now that we got the new filter on, we got the old oil drained out and a new drain plug in, it is time to add the new oil, and I have a secret sauce that I am going to use. Alright, so this engine calls for 4.9 quarts of oil, and if I did the math right, adding this, which is 10.1 fluid ounces, I would need 4.6 quarts of oil roughly in addition to this to meet 4.9. Normally I do like 5 quarts and then add this, but we'll see what happens here. I'm just going to put this stuff in first and add about 4.5 and see where we go from there. So in it goes. Make sure your drain plug is in before you do this. That's happened to me before. Alright, so that's in. Now what I'm going to do real quick is place the camera down, and I'm going to add oil to the empty liquid Moly. Fill up halfway roughly. I'm going to put the cap back on. and shake it to get out more of this stuff, because it's not cheap. Alright, I think I shook it up good enough, so you'll see there's going to be quite a bit more that comes out. That was just fresh oil, and now it's more of that. Now, you can do more. Maybe I'll do more. That's what I'll do. Why not? Alright. Make sure I got my trash. So we're at about 4.5. The slowest part now, just letting it all drain in. I normally wouldn't need a funnel, but because I'm recording with my other hand, I'm going to use a funnel. Normally I eyeball it and pour it in without a funnel. That doesn't make me cool or anything. That was about a quart. I hear some crying. It sounds like somebody's not getting an oil change. Very slow process. We're at 3 quarts right now on the jug. We're almost at the quart mark, so that would mean we put in about 4 quarts, maybe 4.3 with the additive. So I'm just going to go down until we have half a quart left. Not really rocket science. I don't think it really matters, because I think the additive just kind of blends it within the oil. This car burns and leaks oil. It's at 197,000 miles. So I'm not really concerned. And we were at about a half a quart, so we'll just do that for good measure. Alright, I'll jump in the car and reset the oil light. Small pointer before you jump in, I'm going to start the car. And that means you got to make sure the dipstick is back down and your oil cap is on, and obviously the funnel's not sticking in there. You start the car with the funnel in there, on some vehicles you're going to have a problem, so good idea, don't do that, and it's a good time to clean up any of the oil mess. So now that we're in the car, I'm going to start it. It's going to sound horrible for a minute, and then it's going to probably go away. If you start your car and it still sounds horrible after a minute, you probably need to add more oil. See, a little noisy, gone. All right, maintenance oil light. So we got the two buttons on the dash. We got the square and the circle. So square, square, and now I'm hitting the squares to cycle through the menu. Pretty self-explanatory. You hit the circle for next and the square for enter. So we're gonna go to maintenance, enter, oil. I have it at 3,500 miles, even though the oil I just put in, generally speaking, they supposedly say it's good for up to 10 or 15,000 miles. I don't trust that, because obviously after 3,800 miles, you can see how horrible the oil looks. So if you want your engine to last a while, I would tell you to just do it every 3,500 miles. That way you know that you're not causing your engine any extra stress or wear and tear. And like everybody else says, oil in a filter is a lot cheaper than replacing an engine, unless you get a used engine. So, and there's probably a reason this car has 197,000 miles. Oil and filters changed every 3,500 miles roughly, and with an OEM filter and good quality oil. So we're gonna go next, hit reset, reset. Okay, so I had to hit the square to hit the reset there, to hit enter on that screen. So like, let's see, you go to reset by hitting the circle, square for enter, and then what I had to do, I hit reset, but it brought me to the 0, and all I did was hit set, and then it went to 0. So enter to back. Let me cut this music before they take my video down. And next, tire. There's nothing set for the tire, so we're going back. Oh, just kidding. Maintenance, filter, enter. What the? Reset. There we go. Reset, then enter, enter, enter. Alright, I just hit that. We don't need to do that. So shut the car off. Start it back up. Back to the normal screen. And there we go. That's all set. We got the check engine light on. That's for a P0420 code bad catalytic converter. I'm assuming because of the additive, that's when this started acting up. So either because of the high miles or because of the additive, that probably didn't help the catalytic converter. We got this CataClean product that we're going to run through the fuel with some higher octane gas, and we're going to see if that clears up the code. Because for a while it was intermittent, but it might just need a new catalytic converter. But I don't honestly think it's falling apart unless the pieces have blew through the exhaust, because the car still has a lot of power and it still accelerates very well. But anyways, that's the end of this video. I'm just going to roll this thing off the ramps, and we're going to go to the gas station, add that to the fuel, and go from there. So if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, you should probably do that. There's going to be a lot more videos coming out. This whole week I've already filmed a few videos that you've probably already seen, or you might go watch now. We just recently did the Tundra video and the Tundra brake job. If you haven't already seen that, check that out. It was a very miserable job. But I should have probably mentioned that you want to have the car running before you take it off the ramps and get back under, and just make sure that you don't see anything leaking. I gotta change my zoom here. There we go. So if you go under your car, and of course it's too dark, but you want to take a look and make sure you don't see anything dripping from your oil filter or from your oil drain plug. Now, another thing I didn't get to mention is on these Altimas, the oil filter, not the oil filter, the oil cooler housing on the back of the motor tends to leak oil. Those go bad. I've already replaced it on this car, so there's very little to no oil leaks except for the valve cover, which I will make a video on eventually. But I should have made one on that oil cooler housing. That's a very popular one. But anyways, have a good one. I just wanted to mention those few little things.